What is the working certificate test for Labrador Retrievers all about? The Working Certificate for Labrador Retrievers is a certificate offered by the Labrador Retriever Club Incorporated. The Working Certificate test is sometimes just referred to as the WC test. There are other organizations of different breeds that offer a similar test as this WC test. However, this video covers the WC test as established by and the rules set forward by the LRC. Some clubs also offer a Working Certificate Excellent, or WCX title as well, but the LRC only offers official certificates for the WC test. Back in the 1930s, when the LRC was founded, the Kennel Club in England had a requirement that a sporting dog could not earn a conformation title without demonstrating that it had a working ability. The LRC created the WC test as we know it today to parallel the Kennel Club's requirement. The American Kennel Club does not require a working dog to prove its working ability in the conformation ring. So a WC is a good way for reputable breeders to show the working ability of their lines, while at the same time giving Labrador owners the experience and appreciation for the working ability of their dogs, without an extensive commitment to field training. Here is a quick summary of the requirements of the test. The test requires that the dog retrieves a single-shot bird at 50 yards. The birds are generally pheasants or ducks. Ducks are most common. Pigeons could also be used. Most often the birds are already dead, and the gunshot is just a simulation. Live birds, shot with real gunshots, however, could be used. The birds are thrown into light cover, and should be relatively easy for the dog to find once it gets to the area of the fall. The WC test is not a test of marking. We're not testing how well the dog can locate a bird. We are testing whether the dog will willingly retrieve the bird to the handler. Steadiness is not required, and the handler can restrain the dog as the bird is being thrown. The dog must deliver to the area of the handler, but not necessarily delivery to hand. Handling or directing the dog to the bird with hand signals or other commands is not permitted. The dog must also complete 2 water retrieves in swimming water in succession to prove a willingness to re-enter the water. Let's join the judges and watch a few dogs run the land retrieve portion of the test.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Greater Pittsburgh Labrador Retriever Club Working Certificate Test. This is a test set up by the LRC, which is the National Labrador Retriever Club for Labrador Retrievers. Basically, it's a single retrieve on land. It's not considered a mark. The gunner is out there in white, so it's very visible. This comes from the field trial side of the LRC. In field trials, the gunners are out there in white to help the dogs get to the birds because they're throwing 300-400 yard birds. Well, this is a 50-yard retrieve. From the rock, it's right about 50 yards where the bird's going to fall. It's in light cover. It's pretty flat all the way out. Dog has to just pick the bird up, bring it back, and get it between these orange ribbons on this side, anywhere, and drop the bird. Once the bird is released behind these ribbons, you can grab your dog and pick up the bird, and you're done. Coming out of the holding blind, you can come out in any way, shape, or form. We are not allowed to judge line manners. We're not allowed to judge obedience from the blind or anything like that. So you come out of the blind, pick your spot anywhere between the 2 orange ribbons here. It's a little bumpy, so take your time. You're in no hurry. Pick a good spot. Whenever you're ready, you can restrain that dog in any way you want. You can put a leash around its neck. You can hold him by the collar. If you want to get down and hug your dog like that, that's fine. Seen it? Yeah, you won't be the first one. Let's put it that way.
This is totally different than an AKC junior hunt test. This is not an obedience test. It's It's not a marking test. A junior test is all about marking. This is nothing about
Yeah,
marking.
this is about retrieving. Will the dog work?
Yeah,
Will the dog pick up a duck and bring it back?
Test of natural abilities. It's not a test of how did you train this dog.
Yes.
So.
So this will be the land part. One retrieve, get the dog behind the ribbons, get your dog under control in some fashion, and we'll get the bird, and that you'll be done for the land, and we'll go to water later. Do we have any questions on this?
Are you going to release the dog, or do we just...
We are going to release the dog. I'll probably just say dog. What that's for is that's the only way we can give you a no bird. If you know, if we don't hold you there until we see that bird hit the ground and say dog, we can't say no bird. So give us the opportunity to call it a no bird if the gunner would happen to throw one behind him or not hit the mark pretty much. We've seen it all, so don't worry.
So when you say dog, my dog has to leave, or do I
No,
then tell my dog?
after I say dog, you can do anything you want to release your dog.
Thank you.
That's your after dog. It's your time to do the retrieve. So you don't have to say, you know, Snoopy the minute I say dog. It's whenever you want to release your dog after that command.
Thank you.
Can we encourage our dogs to do the retrieve?
You can do anything you want,
Okay.
except go past this line.
Okay.
Yeah, anywhere from behind here you can help your dog. If you know, if you want to go get it, Spot, go get it. You know, whatever you want, that's fine. And on the way back, same thing. Anything you can
Oh, just wait.
to get that dog back to you.
If your dog is struggling, please just don't pick it up and go home. Talk to us about, okay, what should I do? And we're going to try to do everything we can do to help you pass this test, okay? So don't think you're on your own. If you have a question, even midway through the test, turn around and ask us, what should I do? And that's, you know, we wouldn't do that in a junior test, but in this,
We allowed to use whistles.
Yep. Anything you want to get the dog back, except electronic collar.
We only see the ears go straight up.
Yeah.
Take off our flea collar?
Said anything
It's up to you. There's nothing in the rules about running with collars. I typically don't like to see tags hanging off of collars just because they could snag in the field. In this field, if you want to run with tags on, I'm probably not going to say anything. We go to the water, I'm probably not going to let you run with tags because I don't know what's underneath the water. I've had to run a test dog, and after that, we'll ask questions, see if there's any more questions once you see what the dog needs to do. Guns up! Test dog to the line. We don't care where leashes are. This is not a hunt test, so you don't have to tuck it in your pocket or put it behind you. You can keep it in your hand the whole time.
Judges ready?
Yep. Dog?
Ginger. Here. Making sure everybody knows I got it.
Y'all see that?
Any questions?
What the puppies will do, right?
So
At
as long as they cross the line with the bird in their mouth,
As long as you get the bird, as the dog gets the bird behind the line, you're fine.
Okay.
The drop out in the field is fine. If your dog drops the bird 6 times but keeps making progress back to you and gets the bird past the line for you, you're good.
The WC test is a great way for younger people to get a feel for running a dog in a field event. In fact, many experienced handlers had their first taste of field events at a WC test. Remember, in the WC test, the judges are not judging line manners or the way that the dog comes up to the line. The handler and dog just need to get to the line. Remember, steadiness is not required, so holding onto the collar is okay here. Just remember to wait for the judge to release you before letting go of the collar and sending the dog.
the birds.
The dog needs to deliver to the area of where the handler is. This dog does a nice job of delivering to hand, but that was more than really required in the WC test. If the dog would have gotten to the area of where the handler was and dropped the bird, that would have been completely acceptable. This young handler did a very nice job. Let's watch just a few more dogs run the land retrieve before we move to the water.
Luna. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good
Thank
job.
you, Judge.
Heel, sit. Good. Sit. Good. Judge is ready?
Yep. Dog.
Tacker. Hold. Heel.
Welcome back to the WC test water. Everybody did great on land. Didn't see anything that I could think of that I need to, warn anybody or remind anybody of. Pretty much the same rules for water. This is going to be your last holding blind. Come out any way you want to and come down here to the line. I have 2 orange ribbons. You're going to run anywhere between these 2 orange ribbons. Just pick a good spot. We're going to have 2 birds. They're both going to come off of this dike over here on the left. First bird's going to be the furthest bird. It's coming out and falling back off of the point. Second bird is going to come and fall between these 2 stumps. This test is basically looking for the dog to be able to re-enter the water after retrieving the first bird. So it's not really a marking test where we're looking to see 2 long marks. We're looking just to see that the dog will go back in the second time to retrieve the second bird. Again, the dog does not have to retrieve to hand. They just has to bring the bird back to the line. What we'd like to see is the bird on dry land. Dog doesn't have to be on dry land. As long as the bird gets on dry land, you're going to be okay. If the dog runs the bank and comes around, we need to get the dog inside this box. So if you project these 2 ribbons straight back, if you can get the dog back to inside that box, we're going to consider that okay if they decide to run around on the bank. Again, our gunner's going to be out there in a white coat. Hey, 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 throw, shoot. Bird's going to land out in the water. Wait for me to say dog. That way I can give you a no bird if we have a bad throw. As soon as I say dog, you can release anytime after that. Encourage your dog in any way you like to get the dog out to the bird and to get the dog back. Take your time. Once you get back after the first retrieve, there's no rush to do the second retrieve. So make sure you get your dog back under control, get him calm, cool, and collected, and looking out where the next bird's going to be, and then give me the signal and I'll throw the second bird. Any questions?
Are the dogs judged on the way back then?
The only thing we're judging is bringing the bird back.
Oh.
It's basically 2 retrieves. We have to judge for gun shyness. We have to judge for the dog bringing the bird back twice and re-entering the water. So it's not really a mark per se. It's a retrieve. Okay, bird on the right is first. As long as the dog gets up on the shore here and you get the bird, you're fine in this test.
Once the dog has delivered the second bird to the area of the handler, the dog has passed the WC test. After all the dogs have run, the test secretary will give you a form that has been signed by the judges that you must send into the LRC to obtain your working certificate. Most clubs, like this one, also give out a rosette to passing dogs and handlers to commemorate their success. WC tests are offered throughout the year. Check with any of your local breed clubs, and they can help you find a test close to you. We hope you found this video helpful and that you will get involved with field work with your Labrador Retriever. Happy training!